Hey friends, I've been thinking about doing some more sound installs in my diesels, and it was time to order some more speakers. I think I'm down to one 8x12. And when I was on DigiKey's website, I saw this speaker, and I was intrigued. I was looking at it thinking that would probably fit in the back of a SD70, SD90. I've got an SD90 that I want to do, or one of the GE's ES4400s. I still have one of those to do as well. So I thought, I'm going to get that. It's only like $5. And I'll put it in one of my locomotives and we'll see what the sound difference is between a smaller speaker with a air chamber versus that speaker, which would have probably a smaller volume air chamber due to its size. Does that make sense? What am I trying to say? The bigger speaker would require a bigger air chamber, but I'm thinking a smaller speaker with a bigger air chamber would sound better. That's my theory, but I was intrigued. $5, I'm gonna get it, and we'll see what it sounds like. This is the locomotive that I'm going to experiment with. It's already got the sound in it. I'll have to peel it open to see what speaker I've got in there. I don't remember, but this is the speaker that I got from DigiKey. I think it's 9 by 12, or no, sorry, 9 by 25 millimeters. And yeah, I've already checked. It will fit. If I had have used all of this space here for a sound box, sound baffle, what do they call it? It would have been better. And in fact, if I ever do another install with a smaller speaker like this, and I will, I'm going to try and make the sound chamber as large as possible. Everything I've read says that sound volume is key. I don't have any way of measuring sound, like I don't have a decibel meter or anything, so I'm just going to use my earballs. I'm not going to move the camera, and once I get reinstalled with the speaker, I will make sure it's sitting in the same spot, and maybe we can hear a difference. I don't know. Not very scientific, but it's what I got. So let's see. I'll turn the sound on. This is with the little 8x12, I think it is. Sounds like I might have an air leak in that baffle. Sounds a little, you know what I mean? Let's see, let's try the horn, and the bell will go at the same time. So that's with the little 8x12. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. We'll confirm that in a second. Been thinking about repainting this one for CN. It's not an exact match for what they had, but to me it'll be close enough. I know that paint scheme for that locomotive, it's already been painted into the what they call dark future for CSX. So it's not a current paint scheme anyway. That's what I'm thinking. And that looks like an 8x12. Alright. Guess I'll unsolder that now. Just checking inside the shell to make sure there's nothing that will really get in my way. And there's not. There's little lights in there, but where the speaker is going to go, it's not going to go right against the end of the frame. So there we go. I got the speaker unsoldered. Just a little 8x12. I make my own baffles. I have used the 3D printed ones from Shapeways. I think the store name is Keystone. I follow the rail wire. They've got a lot of advice on installs. And someone who's over there, I believe, is the guy that's behind Keystone. He's got good stuff. See how nice that's going to fit? I'm just going to lift it up a little bit and move it back a little bit so that it will fit kind of against the end of the board here. Hopefully not completely touching it, but near it, and still give me room. I'm going to assume I need that space there for the lights. I could shave that off and make a bigger baffle, but we'll see. No, I'm not going to do that. Not going to do it. I don't want to take this chassis apart. I used a little CA along the top joint here, and then plastic cement for these little on the sides. I've got it at an angle so it will fit in against that little nub, so I don't have to shave that off. Lose a little bit of airspace, but really, like I said, I don't think this is the best way to do this. I'm just fooling around. If it sounds good enough, I'll leave it. If I absolutely hate it, I'll just put the other speaker back in after I seal it up, because I think that other speaker had an air leak. May not be necessary to show you every little glue joint I made. I made a box. About it. I got one more side to close up there, but I've been test fitting it as I go. It fits pretty good. I'm hoping that won't be too tall, but it doesn't look any taller than this part, so we'll see. If it's too tall, I'll file it down, sand it down, whatever. This is one of those things where I remind myself, well, I ask myself, why am I doing this? I know a smaller speaker will fit and sound fine. Then I remind myself, science. That's why. Yeah, science. I think that's going to be too tall. Once I get the wires and stuff in there, yeah, I think that's going to be too tall. Well, let's find out. I'm going to have to make my LED wire a little bit longer, I think. Probably my speaker wires too. Let's just see if the shell goes on. Well, the shell went on. There's a little gap there. Maybe it didn't go on so good. It's sitting up a little high. Okay, okay. What are we going to do about this? Sand it down a little bit. Bring the speaker wires around the sides. See if there's enough room in the shell for that. It's not looking good. I bring the speaker wires around like that. There, a little Kapton tape to see if I can hold the wires to the side of the speaker. Just want to see if it'll fit with the shell. That looks a lot better. Let me just see if it lines up. If that coupler sits too high, that'll tell me I've got a problem. Who will be my dummy? This guy. This guy's got micro train trucks. Okay, you can't see it, but I can. And it sits at about the right height. Of according to my very scientific height gauge. Yeah. Okay, I am going to need to install new speaker wires because these are just a little bit too short, so that's no big deal. I keep my spare wires and whatnot in this. It's not very organized, but I know where they're at. I'm not going to film this. This is just unsoldering wires and then soldering new wires on. I'll return to filming when there's something interesting to show. There's the install done. I'm just going to put it on the Look Programmer programming track to make sure I don't have any shorts or anything anywhere. I shouldn't. There's nothing really too short out, but I just like to be careful. These are expensive decoders. Okay, I read the decoder just fine. As I've said before, I like to be careful with these. In an overabundance of caution, I've put a little tape here. I just don't want that LED to touch the metal part of the speaker. So, yeah, that's what that's all about. Now, once again, make sure I can get the shell back on. I'm wondering if I should crazy glue the speaker to the frame. I think that's how I had it before, but I'll see. If it sounds rattly or vibration, if it sounds like it would benefit from that, I'll do it. Now I will plug it into the track power and turn on the sound. It's louder. It's definitely louder. It sounds clearer. Now, is that because of the bigger speaker, or is it because I've got a better box? Just shut this up for a second. One thing I did with the previous speaker box is I used a really thin piece of plastic as the bottom, and I wonder if that was causing vibrations. It's pretty sturdy. I don't think it was, but I don't know. This speaker box just sounded like it had an air leak. Anyway, it definitely sounds better. I haven't changed any settings on the decoder, so that's just the difference you're hearing is the speaker. So, would I do it again? Probably not. I think I'll just stick to the 9x16 speakers with a bigger speaker box. So there you have it. I think I'm going to just leave that speaker in there. I'm not going to change it. It sounds pretty good. Would I do it again? I'm not so sure. But for this one, I think it's pretty good. Well, there we have it. I'm happy with it. I like the way it turned out. Now I gotta get into JMRI and turn the volume down because I like to keep them at a dull roar. And like I said, I didn't change any settings. It's just louder with the speaker in it. So anyway, if you like what you saw, why don't you hit subscribe and follow along with me as I build this layout. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.